So I thought I was going to have a process video for you today, but because I've been so busy working on some classes that I've been taking and some events that I've been doing, I thought I'd go ahead and do a show and tell of what I've been working on. So I will start with the Crop and Create event, which happened over the weekend, and that is a big crop weekend that's put on currently virtually by the SCT magazine. And if you don't know about that, I will leave you links below. But I love their magazine. I love their virtual events, have been a lifesaver during COVID, and they announced they will be going back to personal events, in-person events, in the fall of next year, and they will continue virtual events as well. And the virtual events work for me because their in-person events are in Canada, and with all the travel and the time, it's more complicated for me to attend. So the virtual events have been a fabulous side effect of COVID. So let's go ahead and talk about these. So the event has long format classes as well as mini classes and vendor demonstrations. And this was actually a Simple Stories vendor demonstration. And this is actually my version of that because she had a beautiful single page layout that had a completely different design. But I took the products and I turned them from a wedding theme into a vacation theme. And it was all inspired by this car right here. We can get that to focus a little better. And it said just married on it, but I put in the word together to cover that up. That made it fit for my vacation theme with our car travel and our luggage. And so this is what I did with that class. Up next, this was a mini class by Paige Evans, and Paige's style is always stunning. Luckily, this particular project was very easy. It didn't take too long. A lot of her projects, whilst totally stunning, I feel overwhelmed by them because of the hours that I know it would take. So I was very pleased with this class. I had a very good time, and I get to show off a picture of my kitty who was very insistent during the event. So the next, let's see, the next couple of layouts, do I have? Yeah, I do. Okay, so this is a class that Megan Andrew taught, and it was called, I don't think it was called Title Builder, but it was all about creating your own titles using stamping and mixing stickers and such. So this was a stamp that was included in the set that is an exclusive stamp set for the next year. It won't be released until next year, so that was really fun to have that product. And I just loved, I did just pretty much follow her layout design for this one. I changed up a few things here, and I used hearts instead of, it was a fall layout originally, so I changed it into hearts to go with the title and my journaling. So I had a great time putting these very different pictures together into a single layout about my daughter and her sweetheart. This one was also from that same class, and we did more stamping for our title, and all of these stamp pieces were from that same stamp set, including these teeny tiny little hearts and this solid little house down here, which you could layer up with the outline. And again, I pretty much just followed the class layout for this one. I reversed the layout because my photo was aiming, their eyes were kind of aiming this direction, so I wanted their eyes to be on the title, so I just reversed those elements. I just finished this one today. This was actually from the attendee kit. So if you don't know about how they run their events, you get a bag of crafty supplies that is called the attendee kit. that has a couple of projects that go with it, but it's not a formal class and it's not even a part of the written instructions. And so we had a small video tutorial on what the designer did with the attendee kit materials. So again, I followed pretty much the layout from that project. I just mixed up the particular embellishments for the different areas of the design. Also, a part of the kit was a goodie bag that had supplies in it for doing very small tutorials. Included in that was this product, which is, excuse me, this is a printout, and I can show you, this is a previous one. These are little card front printouts from Angie Blom, who is a digital designer and artist. And so she included the printout and showed us a very quick watercoloring tutorial. And so I did my watercoloring, and then I got inspired to keep going because I had extra watercolor on my palette. One of my favorite techniques is to just spritz that watercolor down and sop it up with a piece of watercolor cardstock and then cut it apart for backgrounds. So I ended up having enough for 3 backgrounds. So I went ahead and created 2 more cards, and I used a stamp set from another Crop and Create event to add some snowflakes to another mixed media background that I had. I keep a pile of random mixed media things that didn't work out for what I needed. And then I just created my own little ornaments out of that. And now I have a set of holiday cards for sending out at Christmas time. Also in that little kit of supplies was some foil and these die-cut leaves out of this foam, double-sided sticky foam product. And this was from ThermoWeb. And I decided to use the leaves and the foiling to turn it into a card. It was just this part of the project was included. So I did a little bit of stamping in the background because there was another goodie in that bag, was a stamp set, which was these branches and leaves and these leaves here too. So I used that same stamp set to create this one. I'm not entirely happy with this one. It's pretty bland, but I wanted to reuse this piece of foiling, which I used to add the foil. Let's see, there's very much shiny. The foil on top of this element as well, and I had this piece left over. So it is what it is, and I'll send it out for Thanksgiving. And then also in that kit were some markers, some alcohol-based markers, and we had a little alcohol coloring demo. And so I pulled out a stamp set that I already owned and played with the alcohol markers in a couple of different ways that were taught. And then I turned those into cards using, this is a Hero Art die set, which has, I don't know if I can get any of this texture to show up on the screen, but it has a wood grain frame to it. And then I did align that frame so that I would get both the inner part of the frame would be around my flowers, and then the outer part of the frame I could keep for the rest of the card. And then I heat embossed my sentiment, including adding some heat embossed, just kind of inked the edges and added my heat embossing around, and I popped it up on foam dots so that you can see the dimension from that frame. Added a couple of gems, and I've got some more Thanksgiving cards to send out. So that has been my crafty week this week, and I'm still working on lots of projects from that event. I'm also working on some Christmas card projects. I am making, partway through making teacher appreciation cards for my daughter's alternative school. And so I've been very busy with all of those projects and didn't get to a process video for you. So I hope you enjoyed this walkthrough of what I've got going on right now. And I will be back on Friday with an actual process video, so I hope you will join me then.